Like the video and subscribe right now, and this doggo will teach you how to do homework. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Pregnant. Still got this bomb, though. Baby daddy just ain't it. Single mother to be and proud. You'll have to be good to me, and even better for my son. I took myself for an afternoon of maintenance, mani, PD, new work clothes for spring, and while sitting at lunch I made the following list. Hair, Brazilian blowout and pelage highlights, every 3 months, $450. Blue shampoo and conditioner to maintain the highlights, $40 every 3 months or so. Various other styling products, actual hair styling. 2+ hours to wash, dry and flat iron this thick ass ethnic hair. Time equals invaluable. Face routine, Retin-A prescription, about $60 per year. Lattice prescription $110 a month. A laundry list of high quality skincare products including alpha hydroxy acid, hyaluronic acid, salicylic acid, cargic acid, all the acids. Got, who knows? Hundreds of dollars per year. Makeup including eyelash extensions, also hundreds each year. Body, quality perfumes, $300 per year, maybe less, since they last a while. Dry brush / body scrub / glycolic acid routine for migraine prone. Strawberry eggs, time equals invaluable. Shaving my thick ass ethnic body hair. Razors $25 package lasts a month or 2. Depending on the season. Acrylic manicure fill bi-weekly, $80 per month. Pedicure, $40 a month. Laser hair removal, various locations $2,000 total, since 2015. Now, a lot of this has nothing to do with men or the male gaze. I do most of it because I like it, and because part of my personal FDS level up strategy was to look on the outside the way I feel on the inside. High value. But honestly, if I woke up tomorrow and society said guess what, you're not expected to look like a dewy smooth Paul S. bump free hairless baby dolphin anymore, I'd be 100% here for it. Because it's a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort. Even men who take pride in their hygiene and appearance will never feel compelled to do this much. Society encourages them to be rugged, scruffy and dad-bodied. Here's where I'm going with this. When dating, think of the time and the resources you spent just to come out of the house on this date vs what he did. I guarantee that in 100% of cases you've already paid more than him and invested way more time than he has. As long as there's patriarchy, 50 over 50 is a scam. My toner cost more than this for Tux in Alfredo, sir. Pay for the damn dinner. Not because I'm an entitled princess, but because it's literally the least you could do. Beware. If you are just another Shrek-shill pervert on here, swipe right. Please be aware I have a responsibility of 6 kids with 1 on the way, so no time wasters please. I have experienced dating life to the fullest, and I have been told I shouldn't settle for any less. If you are shorter than 6 feet, you are a midget for me. Tattoos and eye piercings are a bonus. No, I don't want your money, but I expect my dream guy to have a sufficient bank balance to help me raise my kids. I don't text first. We probably matched on accident. I thought I could skip over people, but I thought wrong. Basically if you're ugly it was an accident, don't waste your time. And if you're broke go to hell. Looking for long-term relationship. Has kids. I'm too young to be faithful. If I see a guy that luck better than mine, on me I'm cheating. Don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding your husband. Am I the asshole for calling my boyfriend the safe choice? It's been a few days since this happened, and I'm still having trouble seeing what I did wrong. My boyfriend of 3 years and I got drunk a few days ago, and we started asking each other what we liked most about each other. He told me I was everything he wanted in a partner, which I found sweet, but he froze up when I told him I loved how safe he was. He got unusually serious and asked me what I meant by that. I explained that in my teens and early 20s I had a habit of choosing guys who were fun and passionate but really unpredictable, like the bad boy type or athletes. But now I was getting older, I wanted someone who would be a good father, have a good steady job, and would get along with my family. He seemed to take this as an insult and asked exactly how many men have I been with. I told him it was none of his business, and then he started throwing a list of questions like, do you even find me attractive? How long have you felt this way? Etc. These questions were insulting, and he was being a dick. But after arguing about this for half an hour, I gave him the whole summary that he should not be jealous of my previous relationships. He had no right to pry into my past, that I do find him attractive for his qualities, not necessarily his looks, and that he should be proud that he's the first guy I was with that ever met my parents. This seemed to make him more upset, and then he had the audacity to ask him if he was first Asian guy I've ever dated. We are both Asian. I told him the truth, that yes he was, but that it meant nothing. He suddenly stormed out of the living and shouted that I'm using him as a safety net to please my family. The truth is my family is strict and conservative, so yes I wouldn't bring home anyone who wasn't Asian, but in the heat of argument I told him that's not true, and he didn't believe me. He packed a bag and told me he was going to be staying with a friend for a few days before slamming the main door. I still don't understand why he's so insulted, and I'm pissed off at him for asking all these prodding questions about my past. Am I the asshole? TLDR. Boyfriend gets mad that I like him for being safe, accuses me of using him as a safety net for my Asian parents. Single mama. Don't hit me if you're jobless. I've been with guys that I, 28, had better Shreks with than my fiance, 27, and it's making me feel guilty. My fiance is satisfying in bed, and we communicate a ton, and I'm love and lustful for him, but he's not the best I've had, like not even close. He's not even a close second. I guide him, and he has improved greatly, but he's still not the best. I have never even thought about this until my fiance asked me himself. I refuse to answer. I'm kinda Shrexually inexperienced compared to most people. I've only had penetrative Shreks with 3 guys, and I've had Shrexual experiences with 4. I don't know if people commonly don't marry their best, but it makes me feel kinda bad. Like my 2 best were my cheating, manipulative, borderline abusive ex-boyfriend, who's probably either homeless or in jail, and some idiot coked addicted frat boy I hooked up with in college. My fiance is such a better man than them, and we've spent years leading each other's bodies, but he's still not the best I've had, and that makes me feel kinda broken that I'll let those wastes of space leave their mark on me. Mommy to 3 girls. No duckin' hookups. Done with these games, I just want someone to grow old with. My bad if I ghosted you. I thought I had a man. Y'all can come back now. Is a boss either of his own business or a corporation making at least 6 figures. Has high EQ and IQ. Very well educated, and I mean formally educated. Has to hold at least a bachelor's degree, but this may change when I finish my master's program. Tall, not just taller than me, but tall by universal standards. Like 5 feet 11 and above. Doesn't smoke cigarettes or weed. Doesn't do illegal drugs of any kind. Is direct and forthcoming with his emotions. Is gentle when interacting with me and the other women in my life. Loves dogs. Is financially literate. Is culturally aware and respectful. Has an understanding about psychology and is holistic in his views about humanity. Doesn't care that I don't shave all the time. Doesn't care that I prefer to wear weaves and wigs to protect my hair. Loves my best. Has strong moral character. Has taken the time to know himself and his values and principles in life. Can talk in depth about business, economics, and finance. Is white. I'm black, and it seems like trying to find white man that is culturally aware and respectful, morally strong, and gentle with and considerate of women is like trying to find a unicorn. Is stylish, not necessarily fashionable, but has his own style of dress that suits him well. Respects women that are respectable. I've seen guys respect women that dog them, and disrespect women that actually have respect for them as human beings. Has his own sense of self-worth, and isn't dependent on me, or women in general, to provide him with a sense of self-confidence and self-respect. Has courage and is brave enough to stand up for what he believes in and for me, even if it means he will lose friends and family. I would rather him choose to be respected than to fit in with the group. I have a wonderful little girl that is my whole world. We love to go to the zoo, eat Skyline and also shop. Wanna buy us stuff? Relationship status. Unable to find love because, in addition to being a slightly psychopathic alcoholic who swears too much, eats too much, and isn't particularly interesting or talented, my standards have been set unrealistically high after years of mentally dating celebrities and or fictional characters. Single mother, 32, claims she can't get a date because she was 2 children, and instead gets sent dick pics, or is ghosted by men. When you try dating as a mum in your 30s. Sorry, I think we want different things. Incoming dick pic, ghosted. When he made the first move, and then ghosts you. Ever dated a mum? Featured comment. Some guy who smiles. Me. Build a sandcastle with grandpa. Everyone else at the crematorium. If you want to be featured in the next video, use #dankness. Am I the asshole for leaving my 3-year-old son after finding out he isn't mine and my wife cheated on me? I don't want to go into detail because I'm still not divorced legally. Separated. Long story short, I found out that my child, or so I thought, was not actually mine. My wife cheated on me with her ex. I found out messages. She had been cheating on me on and off throughout our marriage. Found out too my wife never loved me. She only married me because she was in her 30s and I was a responsible guy that would make a good father. After finding out, I was devastated. I have always wanted to be a family man, and hearing this crushed me. I have met her ex in person before too, and finding out my son would grow up to look like him, well, that was too much. I decided to break things off completely with my ex. I don't want to raise another man's kid, and I want to be able to start a new relationship and have children of my own. However, even my parents are saying I'm in the wrong, that I should not turn my back on my son. I don't agree. It hurts, but I think in 5 years I would have made the right choice. I met a guy online quite a few years back. I totally fell for him. Then we met, and he was really short and my feelings just disappeared in an instant. I couldn't help it. I really tried to fancy him, but I just didn't. It was really upsetting at the time, and I know he was upset too, but that's attraction. I'm a vivacious person. I'm looking for an extremely wealthy man to settle down with. My goal in life is to be the perfect housewife, take care of the house, entertain guests, do community work, go to yoga 3/4 times a week, and always be there for my man. World travels are a must. I love fine dining, and I'm passionate about wine. Not interested in one night stands. If you are outgoing, honest, funny, and love life, swipe right. Fiance left me due to my cancer diagnosis. I left her destitute. This has been 4 years ago, so the sting is gone, and my revenge has been had. Sorry if this isn't the right forum. We dated for 4 years, and had what I thought was a great relationship. We were both well-established professionals who both owned homes in the same neighborhood and both with daughters in the home. Her daughter was 11, and mine was 16 when we met. We had actually planned to get married, build a house, and raise the two together. We planned the house build because she had recently been diagnosed with a neurological disease that would eventually put her in a wheelchair and need something adder-friendly. During the planning stages, I began doing landscape and construction projects on her home to increase the resale value. All in, I invested roughly $30,000 USD into the home, running everything through my side construction business for tax, permitting, and resale purposes. We had a contract that payment would be made upon the sale of the home. I produced invoices for each and every project, but never pushed for payment because of the prior agreement. Fast forward 6 months, we are looking at property to develop and finalizing drawings on the home when I began feeling ill. I couldn't eat, constantly vomiting and passing blood. I began noticing that my abdomen looked swollen, which was odd because we were both very clean eaters and were in the gym every day. So I went to the doctor and began having tests done. During this time, she began having small cognitive issues, and the stress of her current position was exacerbating her condition. So she took a $20,000 per annum cut in pay along with a lesser position inside the company. After a month or so of different tests and a biopsy, it came back that I had a golf ball sized tumor in my stomach and would need to begin chemotherapy. So I began chemo and radiation treatments, which made me, expectedly so, extremely ill. She was spending time helping around my place on the weekends and staying over more, to the point that they were both at my home more than this. At this point, I suggested that we go ahead and put one of our houses on the market and move in together until the new house was built. I have great supplemental insurance as well as a long-term illness plan, so using that coupled with the sale of one of our houses would push us through comfortably and help ease the financial stress on her. Shortly after this discussion, she became extremely distant. Her daughter wasn't coming down and hanging out with mine anymore. She had excuses for not getting together. She quit driving me to treatments and stopped staying over. She then dropped a bomb. A sentence that will forever be burned into my psyche. I love you, but I can't see myself taking care of someone this sick in the long term, and I don't think we should see each other any longer. In a text. It broke me. I won't lie. This was the first woman I had ever opened up to and planned a life with since my wife died when my children were 1 and 3. However, I tried to be mature about it. I forced myself to understand her position and to accept what I could not change. I calmly, the next day, gathered all of her things, packed them neatly, loaded them in my truck, and took them to her house to leave on the back porch while she was at work in order to avoid any awkward exchanges. Walking around the back and under the porch cover, I sat down a box and saw her in her back living room on the couch having Shreks with a man that she had introduced to me as a lifelong friend. I had dinner and drinks with this man and his girlfriend. We had gone on vacation with them as well. I never spoke of the incident with her and simply sent her a text later explaining that I would leave her things on my side porch to pick up at her convenience. I discovered 8 or 9 months later from his now ex-girlfriend that they had broken up due to him confessing that he had been sleeping with my SO, dating back to about the time we were finishing drawings on the new home. Now I'm pissed. Revenge time. At this point, I had finished chemo and radiation for the time being and was feeling healthier. I was going through some much neglected paperwork when I ran across the file that contained $32,680 in unpaid, long overdue invoices, which were promptly sent to my attorney to begin lien proceedings on the home. It turns out that I couldn't have done this a moment too soon because she was set to put her house on the market, coupled with interest over the course of what was then 19 months overdue. The invoices were hefty. That, along with the agreement of settling them when the house was sold and attorney fees, left her with roughly $10,000 after the sale of the home and settling her current mortgage. She promptly had to back out of the purchase of another home and moved in with her oldest daughter, Sil, and 2 grandchildren. She also had to leave her job and begin receiving disability. I ran into her a little over a year ago and she looked as if she had aged 20 years and was in the wheelchair we had talked about. We chatted cordially but briefly and I excused myself and went on with my day. A few days later, her younger daughter called me and spoke of my running into her mom and could we hang out sometime. I gave a vague answer, thanked her for calling and again went on with my day. The ex then called me a week or so later and began apologizing for leaving me as she did. Again, cordial but short. I thanked her for calling and hung up. She began texting and this went on for several weeks until one she asked if I could ever see us rekindling what we had, to which I replied, I can't see myself taking care of someone so sick in the long term. Remember the box on your back porch? Did you think that lifelong friend brought that over to you from my house? Good luck to you. Goodbye. TLDR. Girlfriend broke up with me due to me having cancer, so I ruined the sale of her home, the purchase of another, and left her to have to move in with her daughter. Then threw her breakup line back at her. I sometimes feel guilt over this, but not much, and not often. Me, 32, F, with my husband, 34, M, of 10 years, complications of laying. I'm sure this isn't something new to you guys, but obviously I'm looking for some advice here. I lied to my husband years ago. I'm not proud of this. We have been married for 10 years and we dated for 2 years before we were married. Knew him in high school but never dated. Anyway, jump forward a few years and we meet back up again. We get together and do the whole dating / romance stuff. During this time at some point we have the talk. You know, the talk about exes and stuff. He had a very vanilla life. 2xg/f. No big deal. I told him that I had Shreks with 3 guys. We get married. Life is good. He has a good job and makes good money. He hates his new immediate supervisor, but who doesn't? Fast forward to this December and his company's Christmas party. I go with him and sit down at our table and start talking to friends of ours who work there, and he goes to get us drinks. He comes back and says, "Honey, I want you to meet Bob. He is my new supervisor." I look up and stare square in the eyes of an old FWB that I had from the time I was about 19 to 21. Now if you're doing the math, then you will take note that yes, there was overlap there. I stopped the FWB thing with him after my husband and I had been together for a while. In reality we had only been dating about 8 weeks or so when I cut off the other, and even then it was only a few times. We lost touch with each other after a couple of years. Well, obviously he recognized me right away as well and immediately pulled me out of the chair and hugged me. He then sits down, starts talking and laughing and sadly drinking. He starts telling old stories and talking about old friends and really nothing too bad. My husband is sitting there but is totally oblivious to what is going on or who this guy is. Sadly, the more he drank, the more his conversation started to stray away from friends until he decides that now would be the time to remember the time we went skinny dipping in the local lake. Obviously that got my husband's attention. He then blurts out about making love on the hood of the car and how it warmed us up. Everybody at the table went dead silent and my husband looked like he was going to pass out. I just got up and walked out to the car. He never spoke to me on the ride home. He didn't speak to me in the house, and finally, before we went to bed, I made him talk to me. As you can imagine, he was upset. Did I mention that he hated his new supervisor prior to this event? He went to bed, but I do not think he slept any. As I'm getting up the next day, for whatever reason he comes to the conclusion that this wasn't one of the 3, which it wasn't. Well, now he is starting to lose his shit, but calms down and goes to work. That night I see him pull in the driveway and he is just sitting in the car. I go out and can tell right away he is crying. He never cries, or if he does, he goes someplace I can't see, which is where he thought he was. I open the door and get him to come inside. Long story short, Bob decided to lay it all on the line and tried to act like they had a connection and even told my husband they were Eskimo brothers. Bob is an asshole, and he was back then as well. Anyway, he gets mad and tells me that I either come clean with him about everything or it was over between us. Then I start crying because I know this is going to kill him, but I know at this point I'm caught pretty much, so I let him know that there was a 1 in front of that 3. He is now a shell of his former self. He calls in sick to work all of the time when he had never done that before, and I know it's because he can't stand being there with Bob. He just basically mopes around the house, and he has not touched me physically since that night. Every single time I try, he just tells me no. Look, I get that this is deeply affecting him, and I know I was wrong, but this is over a decade in the past. We've been married this whole time, and we're very happy. I'm just afraid that he is going to either hurt himself. He's never said anything about that, but I worry, or hurt Bob, or he is just going to wither away. I'm also afraid he is going to be fired. I've suggested counseling, but he just mumbles about it. Anyone have any ideas how to snap him out of this? TLDR. Husband found out that his boss he hates was an old FWB of mine / I had hidden the past. Now he is pretty dependent. Stay at home mom at home. Aesthetician school 2020. Earth is flat. Vaccines are bad. Ovid is a ducking hoax. If your profile says something casual, I'm just already going to assume that you want a hookup. 8-month-old baby girl. Don't waste my time. Ducking hate this app because I don't chase boys, so I hate messaging first. Not looking for a serious relationship right now, but I want attention and affection. Not looking for a duck boy messing with multiples, but this girl got needs. So basically I want a relationship, but I don't want a relationship. I want a duck boy, but I don't want a duck boy. Like a relationship without the title. I don't know, Jim or break. I'm female. Am I really supposed to know what I want and need? About me, likes sarcasm and a sense of humor. Coffee is my best friend. Not afraid to talk politics on a first date. About you, tolerates my sarcasm and humor. Doesn't take himself too seriously. Enjoys a healthy debate. PS. I do love to be spoiled with attention and gifts. When should I tell a guy that I'm an SW? Hello everyone. I've been seeing this guy and I really like him, but I haven't told him about my job. He knows I have an OnlyFans and that I cam, but I haven't told him that I also do FSSW a few times a month as well. I really like him, but I'm nervous of if he'll drop me. Vegetarian with vegan tendencies. Museum, art gallery, hiking, beach, bowling, late night walk, coffee dates, carnival, sunset, concerts, watch the stars, build a fort, travel the world, movie night. Anyone go on dates anymore? Like a pickup with flowers, go on an adventure. Where's the romance? This generation is dumb, everyone just wanna duck. Just bought Tinder Gold today cause I'm confused why I can't get many matches. Being picky has its downfalls. Are you a male or female? I'm a girl. This explains everything. How often do you swipe right? I guess 5% of the time. Guess you just need to lower your standards. I'm currently 5 months pregnant. I have a 3-year-old son and he's my world. If you ain't trying to mess with me cause I have kids and don't like, I'm fed up with bullshit. I want a relationship with someone who will respect me and my children. If you don't want a relationship then press X. My boyfriend leaving me on read, like you know there are men on the internet who would pay to drink my bath water. I am a catch. Pay attention to me. You've been visited by Iron Cat. This cat will save you from danger if you get in trouble, but only if you comment. You're the true hero, cat.